struggling with, or you're frustrated about, or you're just curious about, anything, this is a great time to talk about it. So I know you guys were all curious about Cabo. So I figured we could talk a little bit about that and how it was that I qualified to go to that. And I have to be honest, we don't have everything figured out yet, because here's the truth. Corey makes $5,000 a week. So taking us to Cabo is something that she, obviously did not have to do. And when it came down to it, she spent $13,000 on all of us to go to this resort. So, but she definitely has more money than I particularly have. But here's the thing. I want you guys to stress me out trying to figure out what I need to do in order to get all of your booties to Cabo next year, okay? So I don't know what the plan is. I know that here's how Corey approached it with us. Last May, she said, hey, me and some of the other coaches who are like crazy high up in Beachbody that meet in Dallas have decided that we're ready to start doing a leadership retreat for our diamonds. And if you guys are familiar with like Melanie Mitro or any of the really big coaches, they do that for their teams as an incentive to get people's booty and gear to start really focusing on their businesses. And the thing about it is that when you guys grow your business, then my business grows, which means you'll be making more money and I'll be making more money. So, I won't be making $5,000 a week, but I will, definitely benefit from the volume you guys create. So where we will go, I don't know. Corey and the other diamonds and I have all talked about it since we've been back, and she is really adamant that we need to go back to Cabo. She's like, we going somewhere where you have to get a passport and you have to fly really encourages people to work hard. So I'm here to tell you we haven't figured out all the details, but there will be some sort of retreat of some sort to some tropical, fantastic place. I just don't know how it all is going to work out yet, but we're going to do what we can to figure that out. So here's how I qualified. Last May, Corey came to. Originally, she said, I'm going to offer this to my personally sponsored coaches. I am directly under Corey. So that applied to me. And she said, we started the competition in May. And she said, the requirements are you have to hit Success Club 5 minimum every month from now until the end of the year. And you have to advance rank. So I was a diamond. In order to go on the trip, I had to be a 1-star. Now, you guys who are in the diamond group right now, I didn't realize this, and you may be smarter than me. You probably are. When I qualified to be a diamond, I was like, yes, I'm a diamond, But you might hear somebody say, well, I'm a 2-star qualifying, or I'm a diamond qualifying. So once, let's say you hit diamond, and our weeks start on Thursday. So you wake up on a Thursday morning and you're a diamond. You've got all your stuff in order. Beachbody says you have to hold that rank for 6 consecutive weeks. And if you drop rank during that 6-week period, your time starts over. So let's say one of your coaches go inactive during that 6-week period and you don't catch it. Which would be awful, but we would all be watching. You would be watching, I would be watching, and saying, hey, you have a coach projected to be inactive, you're going to lose your rank. So you get 6 weeks to before you are what they call a lifetime diamond. Okay, so what does that mean? That means if you drop rank during that 6-week period, then you have to start over. So let's say for 4 weeks you held your rank, and you drop rank, then you put a discount coach in and you're okay again, your 6 weeks starts over again. Does that make sense? So you have to hold it for 6 weeks. Now, when you hit 6 weeks, here's the cool thing. If, let's say you're in your 8th week and you drop rank, you lose a coach. Beachbody says, as long as you replace that coach that week, or, whenever you replace that coach, you're back to diamond again. You don't have to wait 6 weeks again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So in order for me to qualify for that Cabo trip, I had to hit Success Club 5 minimum every month from May to December. And I had to hold rank for 6 weeks. So I became a 1-star diamond. I had it marked on my calendar. So really, the rule was I had to be paid as a 1-star diamond before the end of 2015. So, like, I want to say November 16th, let's just say, was the 6 week. I had to be a 1-star qualifying by that day in order to be paid as a 1-star before the end of the year hit. Okay? So now that I hit that 6 weeks, if for whatever reason I dropped rank, which I never have, and you really don't want to, because when you lose rank, it's kind of like something happens to you mentally. It kind of messes with you. So you really want to stay on top of your downline and be watching for that. So that was the requirements last year. Now, Corey was so generous that she actually took a handful of people who are not in her direct downline. So like Regan Haggerty is not her direct downline. Andrea Correa is not. Jesse Meredith is not. There was like Amy Sandage is not. So there would have only been like 5 or 6 of us that went. She took 13 of us, and she paid for us all to go. Now, the other thing is when you qualify for these trips, which are like the resort was, like we got off the shuttle from the airport, and they were standing there with hot coconut rags and champagne for all of us. And I mean, it was like amazing. And like we walked to this table, and they had these tank tops that were made for us, waiting all wrapped and beautiful. Everything was included. Drinks were included. Food was included. The room was amazing. Balcony, ocean view, infinity pools. We ate our weight in like tortillas and cheese, and there were lots of jokes about how many yellows and blues do you think we've consumed today, and it was like there are not enough containers in the entire world. So it was super fun, and the coolest thing was just going and like hanging out with the people that you guys are seeing on Facebook. They are just that neat in person. It's so fun to get to like hang out with them, and we did some business talk, but most of the time we just relaxed. We went zip lining. So anything extra we did, we paid for. And, like zip lining, the spa, if you wanted to do the spa or whatever. But you didn't have to do anything. Like you could just lay out at the pool and have some fruity drinks all day, and all of that was covered. The only thing I did have to pay for was my flight. And other than that, it was covered. So I did have to get a passport because I didn't even have a passport. Then while I was there, I got notifications. So if you did not register for Punta Cana, would you please just go do it? Just get on the wait list. And if you don't get invited, don't worry about it, but at least give yourself the opportunity. So I put my name on the wait list last year for this cruise to Jamaica. And really at the time, I wasn't a diamond. I was an emerald. I was like, whatever. I guess Corey was like, put your name on the list. I was like, I'm not going on. She's like, put your name on the list. I was like, okay, fine, I will. My name was like 5,633 on the wait list. That means there were almost 6,000 people ahead of me who got on the list before me. And I got notification last week. Not only is the cruise completely paid for, but they're giving me $1,000 to spend how I want to on the cruise. So if Dustin and I, when we go to Jamaica, if we want to do an excursion, I've got $1,000 to spend on an excursion. Or if we want to go hang out at the spa all day, I've got $1,000. So it's pretty cool. I mean, really. And honestly, to be honest with you guys, like, we decided that if we did it, we really didn't want to have to use any of our savings. So we looked at plane tickets, and for the two of us to fly to Fort Lauderdale, which is like, you probably know this, but I didn't, the very, very bottom tip of Florida. It's a 19-hour drive, but to fly, it was going to be like $1,200 round trip for the two of us. And we just thought, we don't want to do, I mean, we could do it, but we didn't want to do that. And so we're totally road tripping it. Like, we're packing sandwiches, and my parents are coming, and we're getting up at like the butt crack of dawn on Friday morning. And we are driving from Madisonville, Texas to Fort Lauderdale to the port so that we don't have to spend anything, because we MapQuested it, and it was like $112 in gas compared to like $1,200 in flight. So, you know, like, it's a pretty cool deal. We're super excited about it. So the Success Club, and next year it's at Punta Cana at the Hard Rock Cafe Hotel, and you can earn the trip. The only thing you would have to pay for is your travel to get there. So if that's something you want to do, and you guys need to be, you know, put $50 a month back or whatever, and by this time next year you'll have plenty of money for the flight. And you can earn money just like I did, I believe. The reason I earned money was because if you hit Success Club 5 every month and you signed 12 coaches in the whole year, they could be discount, it didn't matter. But as long as you signed 12 coaches and they ordered something like Shakeology at least one time, then you earned $600. If you hit Success Club 10 every month and signed 12 coaches, then you earned $1,000. So I earned, and that was the most you could earn. And when I went to register, the regular rooms that they had, they were sold out of. So we had to upgrade, which I was not super excited about, but now I kind of am, because it's like a balcony ocean view. And so part of that $1,000 they gave me is going to cover the upgrade of the room. So, but we still had like $600 left over to spend on excursions or whatever we want to spend it on the flight, on the cruise. So, so that is Cabo and also Success Club trips. And so if you haven't got on the wait list for Punta Cana, just do it. I mean, it's sold out. Like, I literally registered at 11, got on the second it opened, and as soon as I logged in, it said it was sold out. Like, I'm on the waiting list. So get your name on the waiting list. You never know. 6,000 people were ahead of me, and I still got to go. You never know. Okay. What is going on with you guys? Like, where are you at? I'm super, I'm proud of y'all in the Diamond group. I know you guys are, just take a deep breath. The Diamond group can be stressful. You can start to feel overwhelmed and feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much pressure. Listen, it's your business. Do I want you to hit Diamond? Of course I want you to hit Diamond. But don't make yourself sick about it. Do your vital behaviors. Do that. If you do that, you're fine. You're going to get coaches. You're going to hit Success Club. You're going to sign up new people. You're going to be fine. Make sure to be checking in. Some of y'all are doing better about that than others, about checking in daily. Just put a little post in there, just letting us know how you're doing. If you're struggling, message me. Let me know what's going on, how I can help you. You know, I'm here. If you haven't signed your spouse up yet, I'm thinking most of you guys have. But if you're in the Diamond Party, you definitely want to get your spouse in there, like at the top. So I think we've talked about that before, but I promise you will be happy you did it. You might be frustrated because you have to spend a little money right now just to get them signed up, but you want them at the top of your business because they will benefit from the team you build below them and all the volume your team builds. And then your team will start building their team, and then those people will start building their team, and your husband needs to be at the top to benefit from all that volume. So if you're married, I would do it. My girls that are still working on Emerald, we are going to be opening, so that's going to be Angela, Kinsey, and Brenda. So y'all's next goal is to try to hit Emerald, which just means you sign up 2 people to be coaches underneath you. You have 1 on each leg. And so you need to get to Emerald and you need to hit Success Club 5. Those need to be your 2 things. Like every month, without fail, I need to hit Success Club 5. I need to be focusing on, am I doing my power of 3s? Am I inviting, starting conversations, all of those things. You guys that have been doing it a while, you guys can attest to this. It gets frustrating when you think, I'm going to sign up and all these people are going to be ready to buy. Just think about how long it took you watching before you were ready to say yes. So you might have been watching my story or your upline story or whatever, or other Beachbody coaches' story. You might have been watching, but we're like, I'm not ready. Okay, so think about that. When you send an invite and they say no thank you, or they don't respond at all, just remember, the reason you're posting on Facebook, if your thought right now is, I have to make a post on Sunday night so I can sell a challenge pack, you're going to get frustrated. The only reason you post on Sunday night is consistency. Very rarely, I mean, I'm not going to say never, because it does happen, but very rarely do I have somebody read my post on Sunday night and message me and go, okay, I'm ready to buy. It just doesn't, because people don't, most people are waiting for you to ask them. And even when you ask them, they still may not be ready. You know, they need time. So just remember, it takes consistent behavior. You need to be posting. You need to be visual on your Facebook feed. You know, not about Beachbody. People are going to get annoyed and block you. If every post you do has to do with eating clean and working out, you're going to annoy everybody. Okay, so 1 post a day, maybe that would be fine. Or maybe you do a workout video in the morning and then that night you make something really good and you want to share it. That's fine. But be adding value. What's the point of my post? To talk about how awesome I am because I work out, or to talk about how this is a benefit, how you can be blessed by whatever it is. You guys have probably seen the social media trainings that say, find your 5 things. What are the 5 things that are most interesting to you? What are you interested in, okay? So yes, fitness might be one of those things, but what else? Like Jennifer does a really great job of sharing about her crazy dogs. Your poor dog in that belly tonight, oh my word, in that sweater. It's so funny. Okay, whatever your thing is, okay? Maybe you're into interior design. Maybe you're into, I don't know, like I'm looking around and trying to think, you know, maybe you're into certain types of crafting. Maybe you have a garden. Maybe you're into Bible study. Maybe you're into whatever, okay? Maybe you're into fashion and you post about that. It doesn't matter, but you need people to be interested to come to your page more than just to find out what workout you did. So if you're posting 3 to 5 times a day, you need 3 to 4 of those posts to be not Beachbody related. Okay? Little things like that make a big difference. When I first started, it was very easy to go to Pinterest and take a scripture and post it, and that's fine. You can totally do that. But when you're ready to step your game up a little bit, people come to your page because they really want to know about you. That's why they're your friend. So you'll notice that a lot of times, like on my like page, you will very rarely ever see me do a stock photo on my like page. One reason why is because Facebook hates those and doesn't show them to anybody. But the other reason is because people are more interested to see what it is I'm doing. So what I might do is go to Pinterest, find a really cool quote, you know, like do something today that 6 months from now, or like one time I did a picture and it was me and Mason and he was in a plank next to me. And it was like, you know, just keep going. You never know who you might inspire. You know, just take a quote from Pinterest, put your picture, and then use an app and write the words over your picture. Things like that. Your Bible scriptures. Take a picture of something in your house and add the Bible scripture, or whatever your thing is. But people don't come to, they can go to Pinterest and see that stuff. They want to see you. So that will drive more people to come to your page. Sharing articles and recipes where you just share a link, very rarely are you going to get anybody to open that. If you go to my page and you see the recipes I post, all I do is go to that link, copy and paste. I type a little blurb about that recipe. I give credit. I don't steal. We don't steal. We put, recipe via cleanfoodcrush.com. If I take their picture, I give them credit for the picture too. But if I just put their link, all I'm doing is say, hey, go to this person, go follow this person. That's not going to help you. So make your page very personal. Very personal. Okay? All right. So kind of just went on a rant there about stuff I wasn't really planning to talk about, but it just kind of what came into my mind. Your time every day, if you are not getting Power of Threes in, whatever else you're doing Beachbody-wise is not important. Well, working out, yes. Working out, Shakeology, personal development, Power of Threes. If you're not doing those things and you're doing other things Beachbody, put the other stuff away. Do those things. 10 minutes of personal development, drink your shake, do your workout, personal invites. Those are the 4 things. You've got to do those if you want your business to grow. And then just be patient. It will happen. It will happen. That morning, I've told you this before, when somebody goes to put their jeans on and they can't button them and they're crying because nothing fits, you want them to think about you and go, okay, I've got to do something. What do I do? Oh, yeah, Jennifer Barrett is the person I need to contact. I know she'll help me. Kenzie Delaney is the person I need to contact. I know she'll help me. That's what you want. So, okay. What's going on? Does anybody have anything they're frustrated about, they're confused about, they're wondering what should I do? I'm going to kind of open it up to you guys for a little bit. Diamond party questions. Oh, I started to tell you, we're going to start an Emerald party. So my new ones that are just starting, the Diamonds and I all talked about it in Cabo. I think we've kind of got it all set up, and it's on my to-do list in the morning to get it going and get a post up about it so you'll be aware of what it is. But it's just going to be another little private Facebook groups of all the newer coaches who want to get to Emerald. I mean, you can get to Emerald in a day, really, honestly. And you Diamonds, all Diamond is being an Emerald 4 times over. Just be an Emerald. You've hit Emerald once, do it again. That's what you need to think about. Okay, I'm already an Emerald. I got to do it again. Okay, I've done it twice. I got to do it again. That's all it is. Do it 4 times. You build 2 Emeralds, you're golden. So if you think about it in smaller chunks like that, it makes it a little more doable rather than thinking, oh my gosh, I have to get 12 people. You don't think about it like that. Break it down, just like weight loss. I'm gonna lose 1 pound. I'm gonna lose 2 pounds. Oh my gosh, I've lost 15 pounds. Awesome. I'm gonna keep going. That's how you gotta think. Break it down, make it small. Okay, I'm really gonna stop talking now. Who has a question? Go for it, Kim.
So I guess, and this is, how do I phrase this? So I know that I'm really new to this, and I know that I need to post a lot more, and your explanation just really helped. But are a lot of y'all making your posts on one day specifically, 30 posts to your potential post page, and then through the week adding them, or do every day you come up with new posts? Because I think it's just my creativity on knowing what to do, what's relevant, and how to get people's eyes. And I'm not quick on this, so I feel like I get repetitive really easily. So I spend 30 minutes trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to post about. And then terribly, I've ended up doing exactly what we shouldn't and just posting a recipe, So I think I just need to be more creative. But are y'all doing this every day? Because I think I do work a full-time job with this, and I come home and I spend right at, my 45 minutes to an hour figuring out posts for that day. But I feel like my creativity is lacking in all that. So sources, what y'all do?
Y'all are welcome to chime in too. Kinsey, what I would say specifically for you, don't worry about a like page yet. Really don't do a like page until you're a diamond. Like pages take up, like, to be honest with you, it's what I spend the majority of my day doing, is creating my like page, because you have to come up with all these posts. So what you want to do is just use your regular page for right now. And then when you hit diamond, that's when you start thinking about a like page. And even when you hit diamond, it takes forever, because when you start a like page, Facebook hides most of what you post. And so you'll make a post and it'll show you like maybe 20 people saw it. I have 1,600 friends on Facebook, and sometimes I'll do a post and it will say 22 people reached. It's very frustrating. So you'll put all this time into it and nobody will see it. So what I would say is, if I were to go to your page right now, would I really know much about you? And so that's what you need to be posting. It's stupid stuff. Like, you can go to my page. Like, I took a picture of Dustin and I in the car today going to the grocery store. And I was like, okay, it's Tuesday at 2:00, and he decided to come with me so we could have a date day, and we're going to the grocery store. And I got, like, on my like page, which is a lot, I got like 8 comments and like 20-something likes, which never, like, honestly, I know that doesn't sound like, because on my regular page, if you go look at my regular page, you'll see most things I post get over 100 likes and a million comments. But on your like page, just nobody sees it. So right now, I want you, when you have time, sit down and write 5 things down that you're interested in, like your top 5 things. And then make a post about those. Like, your cat. I love that. Make a post about your cat. Make a post about, what do you and your husband do for fun? When y'all go out to dinner, take a picture, a selfie of the 2 of you in the car and say you're headed out for a date. People like to see that. That's why they come to Facebook. They want to know how you're doing, what you're up to. Tell us about your job, or, whatever it is you're into, whatever you're interested in. I know you're really good on Instagram, much more. So, think about what the things before you were a Beachbody coach, what were you posting about on Instagram? What I knew about you was you were like a lot of fun. You went to a lot of weddings and music festivals and hanging out with your friends. And that's the kind of stuff you should be posting about on Facebook. And then occasionally post something, about what you're doing fitness-wise. Okay. So, and that will help you. Don't overthink it. Just post something. I mean, it doesn't have to be a paragraph. Honestly, if it's long, most people just scroll past it. So just a sentence or 2 about, you have a really quick wit on your Instagram and stuff. Your little hashtags and stuff are funny. Stick that stuff in, and just anything that's going to make people smile is what you need to be posting about. So come up with 5 things that you're interested in. One of those can be fitness. Okay. But then what else? Like mine is my family. I usually will do a post about whatever Bible study I'm doing. You're going to see something about Mason. You're going to probably see a date, something about us dating. And I try to be, I typically am kind of a joker, so I try to let that come through on my Facebook. You're going to see a lot of like silly, sarcastic, funny, things like that. But that's my personality. So let your personality come through. If that's not your personality, you be Kinsey. You do Kinsey. That's what people want. Okay. Does that help? Yeah, definitely. What else, guys?
I'll say something real quick, Jackie.
Go for it, Rose.
I guess I just want to know, like, when do you press people? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know last time I was talking to you and I was like, should I push them on this? And I was like working down to like the day before, like on Sunday, Yeah. Well, if it's like early in this week, like how should I let them go a whole week, or should I, like, if I'm asking someone on like Monday, should I ask them again, like follow up? I guess how soon should you follow up? I guess that's what I'm saying.
Okay, good question. So if I send an invite and they never respond, I'm probably not going to like send them an invite again anytime soon. Maybe like 2 weeks later, I might just send something back and just say, hey, just wondering. But honestly, if they don't respond at all,
Yeah.
they're probably going to be somebody I come back to. And that's generally because I have too many other people to handle that I'm not.
And I get like if they don't respond, obviously, but what if they like respond, like give you all this information, but then like, or if they say like, I need to talk to my husband about it, like how long do you give that? Like a week or?
Yeah, I don't usually wait a week. That gives them too much time to sit on it and change their mind. If they sound interested and they're like, I'm really interested, let me chat with my husband, I will say when you read GoPro, he always says when you respond back, let them give you a date, put it in their court, but let them decide. So say something like, okay, that sounds great, totally understand, chat with your husband. Is there a day this week that works for me to get back with you? And let them give you a day and write it on your calendar. Or, sometimes because I'm just lazy and I want to be done, I'll just say, hey, that's great. How about, I think I'm going to write it down on my calendar to check back with you, on Wednesday? Does that work? Or is there a day that works? Or some of them say, well, I need to wait till I get paid. I don't drop it there. I'll say, oh, great. So, when would be a good time for me to touch base with you again? And then they'll usually give you a date, and I write it down, and I make sure that whatever date they tell me that I touch base with them that day. If they're waiting to get paid and you wait a week after they get paid, they're not signing up. They're going to have already spent their money unless, they've got you. So you do have to kind of stay on them.
Okay.
You don't want to be pushy, but
right, yeah.
Professional. Be professional. It's just like any other thing. If you go to the dentist and he says you need to come back in 6 months, you're going to set a date. Same thing here. You just need a date. And then that helps. It solidifies things with them. It doesn't leave it as, okay, whatever. Because if you don't put any urgency in it, then they don't have any urgency either. And then it's 6 weeks later and they've done nothing. So, and I know for me, like if I made a plan to buy something and it was that much money, and then something came up and I hadn't really made a plan of the day I was going to do it, then I'd probably be like, oh, well, I'm not going to worry about that. But if I knew you were going to contact me back on that day asking about it, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I've got to put that in the budget because there's going to be an accountability there to check back with it. So,
okay. Yep, that makes sense.
Okay. Jennifer asks, how do you address people who aren't participating in challenge groups? That it's very frustrating, I know. A lot of times when they start, I ask them what their goal is. I will definitely private message them. I also, something that would help, Jennifer, I think, is you can type their name in the magnifying glass at the top of the group, and it will show you the last time they participated. So every once in a while, I go, God, I haven't heard from somebody, and I think it's been a while. I can type their name in and go, oh my gosh, it's been a week, and they haven't posted at all. So then I'm going to private message them and just say, hey, I'm just worried about you. I've noticed you're not there. Do it that way. The other way is I kind of try to keep a schedule, and like write myself notes or however you want to do that. But like if I have 10 challengers in one group, I'm probably going to have like 4 who I specifically tag in the check-in that night. Like if I notice nobody's commenting, you'll see that I'll put, and several of you guys do this. How's it going, Jennifer Barrett? Sure would love to hear from you. Hope things are well. Usually when that happens, but yes, every challenge group, there are always the rogue challengers who you never hear from, who never participate, and all you can do is private message them and encourage them and say, hey, your daughter's wedding is coming up. I thought you really were wanting to, how are things? Sometimes I'll find they're like, oh, I'm doing great. I've lost 12 pounds. And you're like, oh. Some people just don't do the challenge groups, which is kind of frustrating. It makes you feel like you have to chase them. And I will address that too and just say, I have a lot of challengers. I want to make sure I'm taking good care of you. What is the best way for me to help you stay accountable and just talk with them that way, you know, and say, okay, so like what, every Monday you're going to check in on the group, or, you know, but all you can do is encourage, and it is frustrating. That help at all? You're like, yeah, I already knew that. All right, girls, we got like a minute 30 left. Y'all just, I really do try to stay in contact with you guys as much as possible. If you ever feel like, man, I haven't heard from Jackie in a while, or does she even care? Trust me, I do. But if you're struggling, let me know. You guys who have downlines in the group now, you know, y'all don't have to, Jennifer, you don't have to ever feel like, oh, any of y'all, you are not bothering me if you send me a question. That is what I'm here for. And honestly, sometimes I don't know either, and I have to go figure it out. But, you know, you're not bothering me. And it excites me to know, like, if I don't hear from you, I start to get worried. Like, uh-oh, am I losing them? Or are they having a hard time? Or, you know, just touch base with me. Let me know. Because, you know, I definitely want to help. So I'm super proud of you guys. Seriously, that's like, so many of you, we were just ranting and raving about at Cabo about, oh, they need to be here next year. I love her. She's so fun, and oh, she's adorable. And so my little team is like, everybody was chatting about us. It makes me super excited. I'm proud of y'all. Okay, love you guys. Y'all's diamonds, go to your Zoom.